Tiny Towns is a pattern-building and abstract strategy game released in 2019 and designed by Peter McPherson with art by Gong Studios, Matt Paquette, and company. The goal is to use the limited resources and miniature spaces in front of you to build a tiny yet prosperous town. To set up, each player takes a town board and places it in front of themselves. They also receive a monument building token, but they place that to the side for now. The cottage card is placed face up in the center of the play area, and the remaining building cards are sorted by type with a random card selected from each type and set out face up in a row next to the cottage card. The non-monument building and resource tokens are set out in a supply within reach of all players. Each player receives 2 random monument cards and chooses one to keep. The first player is whoever most recently constructed something, and they receive the Master Builder Hammer to start. In Tiny Towns, players are the mayors of tiny, underdeveloped towns in the forest looking to make a name for themselves. Think Everdell if you were less concerned about the denizens of the town and more focused on the actual construction of the buildings. The game is played over a variable number of turns during which the active player, called the Master Builder, will select one of the 5 resource cubes from the supply to place in an open square on their town board. Then each player will take the same resource and place it in their own town as well. If any player completes a pattern shown on one or more of the building cards, they may take those building tokens and place it in their town, returning the resources to the supply. The monuments are special patterned buildings that only the holder of that card can construct. Once resources are placed and buildings are constructed, the Master Builder Hammer is passed to the left, and play continues. If a player has no more space to place resources, they are out of the game. Once all players have completed their towns, the game ends, all remaining cubes are removed from boards, and scoring begins. Players receive points based on the scoring specified on the building cards, losing 1 point for each open space on their board. The player with the most points wins, with various tiebreakers as needed. This game always makes me think of those triangle puzzles with golf tees in them. Every Cracker Barrel and grandparent in the world has them, so I'm positive you know what I'm talking about. I'm always trying to build a functional and sensible town and fill up every single space on the board. In the end, I find I've built more farms than I require and not nearly enough taverns. Oh dear, I seem to have left a golf tee in all 3 corners. It appears I am just plain dumb. In spite of this tremendous blow to my ego, I shall persevere. I will survive. I won't stop believing that I'm always game.